I wish to use this platform to announce that I'm honorably resigning with immediate effect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Ghana for way amamo de shema de nyina wo konfo colleague wo kukuru diodu amponsansa nche kre wure ne me kotokwa fre na me senwere duan kanta egu me so asaw empanyimfo so ne wafuru duapa ne epia no ne opa bibia kotokwa ne nyina bro sawo pansam dem sam polon sam atutu abasa ne abasa etre ni tire. Subscribe to Ghana for You TV me kohwe de ede amamu nsam de kohwe empanyimfo mu wi abansika ho na abe hu no o konfo e ho na me scan Twitter ye na me kire wo mo me shirawo. And I make for amount. Keep watching Ghana for You TV, and your life will never be the same. Bye bye.
Hello guys, keep on watching Ghana for You TV. Like, comment, and share for more videos. That's it.
Archbishop of the Church of England, the Most Reverend Alan John Knight, who was the headmaster of the All Boys Anglican Boarding School, now at the Southern College in Cape Coast, in the 1930s. And a mentor to his father, David.
The loving and ever graceful Mrs. Patricia Christabel Chamatin, née Kingsley Nina, the daughter of Justice Joseph Kingsley Nina, Ghana's electoral commissioner during the 1979 presidential elections. Alan and Patricia are blessed with two sons, Alex and Victor. Ladies and gentlemen, we are presenting to you a man we the youth in this country consider as a generational thinker, a man who has distinguished himself in the realms of Ghanaian politics, a man who is about to shake the entire political landscape of our motherland. With a big round of applause, let's welcome John Alan Kwadwo Chamatin.
I was here to the issue, Yura Alan Kwadwo Chamatin, Yanni John, Esan, or no, and now our Babu drew just for Baba Casanesa. And it is a washer who feed the Lusa and a tear over fancy, the Airmana. And as will be him, so Baba
fellow countrymen and women, friends from the media, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start first by expressing my profound gratitude to you all for accepting my invitation to attend this press conference here today. I give thanks to the Almighty God for His manifold blessings in my life and for His grace and mercy. I wish also to use this platform to express my heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you, particularly the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, who have believed in my vision, who have stood by me through thick and thin, and who have shown an unwavering faith in the promise of a brighter future for Ghana. Your belief in the possibilities of our nation and your dedication to the ideals of progress, unity and prosperity have been nothing short of inspiring. It is important for me at the outset to provide a historical context for what has occasioned this press conference today. In 1992, when the New Patriotic Party was established, a group of young, dynamic business executives and professionals came together to establish the Young Executives Forum, YEF, under my chairmanship. The YEF, since 1992, became the financial backbone of the party and provided significant financial resources to support the party in all its endeavors, including providing the seed fund for the purchase of the party's first national headquarters building. As chairman of the YEF, I had the privilege of serving as a member of the National Executive Committee and the National Council of the party. In addition to this, I served as a leading member of various committees of the party. In 1996, after the unsuccessful attempt by the first flag bearer of the party, Professor Albert Edubuahin, to win the general elections, the membership of the Young Executive Forum nominated me to contest the 1996 presidential primaries alongside leading personalities such as Professor Edubuahin, Mr. J. Kufuor, Dr. Jani Selby, Dr. Kwame Safodu, Mr. J.H. Mensah, and Dr. Jones Oforiatta. I was prevailed at that time upon by some senior members of the party, in particular, Mr. Akenten Apiamenka and Mr. Stephen Kreku, both of blessed memory, to sacrifice the opportunity to contest for the leadership of the party and rather support my senior colleague aspirants. From 1996 to 2000, I played a leading role in supporting the bid of the then candidate J.A. Kufuor to win the general elections and become president of the Republic of Ghana in 2001. After refusing appointment as a cabinet minister in the aftermath of the elections, the president then persuaded me to become NPP's first ambassador to the United States of America, a position I served with distinction. I was subsequently appointed in 2003 as Minister for Trade and Industry and Presidential Special Initiatives to implement a new paradigm of economic development, which I had introduced in 2001 on the assumption of office by President Kufuor. Between 2003 and 2007, I led the government's program for enhancing private sector development and ushering a golden age of business in Ghana. In 2007, I joined a distinguished group of 17 presidential aspirants to contest in the presidential primaries of the NPP. In that election, under very strange circumstances, the electoral process was truncated on the day of the election on account of accusations leveled against me of influencing the course of the elections. This strategy was designed to create disfavor against me in an attempt to diminish my popularity and the massive support I enjoyed amongst the rank and file of the grassroots of the party. In spite of this unfortunate occurrence, however, when the votes were finally counted, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came first, and I was the runner-up. According to the rules of the electoral process at that time, the two of us were programmed for a second-run ballot. It was in response to this development that I made my landmark declaration that to avoid a further deterioration of peace in an already divided party, I would make the supreme political sacrifice not to contest the runoff, but rather support my senior brother, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, to contest as the flag bearer for NPP. To contest as the flag bearer for NPP in the 2008 general elections. Despite the sacrifice I made to unite the party, as referred to above, there were very serious post-primary attacks on my supporters all over the country and an open show of hostility. Some of my supporters were victims of brutalities and continue to bear the scars of that treatment. I made several representations to the then leadership of the party, drawing the attention to the rancorous and divisive behavior of some elements in the party. Regrettably, however, my representations went unheeded. As a consequence, I gave notice of my decision to resign from the party in protest against orchestrated by elements aligned to the leadership of the party at that time. The protests and reactions from the rank and file of the party at that time from all over the country compelled the then chairman of the party to constitute a reconciliation committee chaired by the then immediate past chairman of the party, Ambassador Samuel Odoi Sykes. The committee upheld all my submissions and prevailed upon me to rescind my decision to resign, which I did, with a firm promise to address all the contentious issues I had raised in my notice of resignation. Unfortunately, however, all the promises made by the party leadership were never fulfilled, and indeed, the divisive and hostile attacks on my person and my supporters remained for several years thereafter and have continued to date. It is common knowledge that any party member who is associated directly or indirectly with Alan Kyerematen is treated with disdain and considered an outcast. Fellow countrymen and women, I have endured all this resentment. I maintained my integrity within the office of the NPP in 2017 under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. I was appointed as Minister for Trade and Industry in the first term of the NPP administration and was retained in the same position by the President in his second term. During the past 6 years, I led the introduction and implementation of some of the most innovative and successful programs of the NPP, including the establishment of the One District, One Factory initiative, the establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFTA) with the headquarters of the Secretariat in Ghana, the development of new strategic anchor industries to diversify the economy in Ghana, including the automobile assembly and component manufacturing, the establishment of business resource centers and technology solution centers all over the country to provide comprehensive business development solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. The introduction of the new integrated customs management system, otherwise referred to as UNIPAS, which has significantly enhanced mobilization of government revenue. The establishment of industrial parks, including the flagship Greater Kumasi Industrial City and Special Economic Zone. The development of a national export strategy with a target of achieving export revenue of 25 billion United States dollars by 2030. And last but not the least, the introduction of business regulatory reforms and public-private dialogue mechanisms to facilitate government's interaction with the private sector. In spite of the limited budget put at my disposal during my tenure as cabinet minister, I was able to deliver significant achievements for the government and my country. Fellow countrymen and women, I believe I've served my country and intend to continue to do so. On the 5th of January 2023, I resigned honorably from my position as cabinet minister and declared my intention in a national broadcast to contest the presidential primaries of the NPP. On the 26th of August this year, I participated in the Super Delegates Conference to shortlist the 10 aspirants who had filed their nominations to contest in the primaries. I was selected as one of the 5 candidates to contest for the main presidential primaries scheduled for the 4th of November 2023. Fellow countrymen and women, after carefully analyzing the results of the Superdelegates Conference, I issued a press statement on the 6th of September this year, declaring my intention to exit the process leading to the presidential primaries. In the run-up to the Superdelegates Conference, the National Council of the party made some of the most controversial and contentious decisions in the history of our party. They rejected a petition signed by 9 out of the 10 aspirants requesting for the Superdelegates Conference to be held in one location, as well as to allow each delegate at the conference to nominate 5 persons instead of 1, in line with the provisions of our party's constitution. In my humble and considered opinion, the decisions of the National Council were both unmeritorious and unconstitutional. To make matters worse, it was absolutely clear, as I indicated in my press statement of the 6th of September this year, that the Superdelegates Conference was strategically and tactically skewed and maneuvered in favor of one particular aspirant. The level of intimidation and monetization that characterized the conference is unprecedented in the history of internal elections of our party. The subsequent decisions made by the National Council to vary the rules of procedure for the runoff arising from the Superdelegates Conference, in direct contravention of both the constitution of the party and the guidelines which had been issued by the Presidential Primary Selections Committee will go down in history as a travesty of justice, believing in its core values and the long-standing traditions of its antecedents, predicated on the principles of fairness, equity, probity, accountability, and transparency. I have devoted the best part of my professional career to serving the party, and I still believe in the vision of the founding fathers of the party. However, the NPP, as it exists now, has very little resemblance to the party that I joined in 1992 and held together. Thank you. The party has been hijacked by a selected group of party leaders and elders, government appointees, behind the curtain power brokers and some unscrupulous party apparatchiks. It was my fervent wish to use the vehicle of their party to bring my God-given talents, experience, and knowledge acquired both locally and internationally over a period of 46 years to serve our dear nation, Ghana, at the highest level of executive authority. It is abundantly clear to me that my services and contributions to the party are not appreciated. And that my continuous stay in the party will create further tension and divisions, which is an exact replay of the circumstances that led to my decision to resign from the party in 2008. Fellow countrymen and women, under the circumstances and given the context provided, I wish to use this platform to announce that I'm honorably resigning with immediate effect. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ghana for way amamo de shemo ade nyina wo konfo colleague wo kukuru diodu amponsansan cha kre wure ne me kotokwa frena na metenwere duan kantankanta egumi so asaw empanyfo so ne wafuru duapa ne pia no ne opa bibia kokotokọ ne nye na bro sawo pansam dem sam Paul nsam atutu abasa ne abasa etre ni tire subscribe to Ghana for You TV ne kohwe de ede amamu nsam de kohwe mpanyfo mu wi abansika ho na abehu no o konfo e ho na me scan Twitter ye na me kye wo mo mashirawo
and I'm keep watching Ghana for You TV and your life will never be the same. Bye bye.
Hello guys, keep on watching Ghana for You TV. Like, comment, and share for more videos. That's it.